What if I told you that the foundations of the world we live in today, our politics, our philosophy, our very ideas about democracy and civilization, began over 3,000 years ago, on a small, rugged peninsula in the eastern Mediterranean? Welcome to Greece, the cradle of Western civilization. From epic battles fought under the shadow of towering temples to the minds that first dared to question the nature of the universe, Greece's history is one of vision, power, betrayal, and triumph. This isn't just a tale of warriors and gods, it's the story of how a tiny nation shaped the destiny of the world. But how did a single, ancient culture rise from the ashes of its myths to influence everything from science to the arts, from the ideas that govern society to the systems of thought that define our very existence? To understand the Greece of Plato and Alexander, we must first step back, way back. Around 2000 BCE, an advanced civilization rose in the Aegean Sea, known as the Minoans. Centered on the island of Crete, these early Greeks gave birth to sophisticated art, vast palaces, and early written language. They were master traders, traveling as far as Egypt and Mesopotamia. But it was the Mycenaeans, the successors to the Minoans, who would carve a name in history. The Mycenaean world, with its warrior kings and massive stone fortresses, would become the setting for the epic tales of Homer, the Iliad, and the Odyssey. These heroes and gods, struggling in the Trojan War, captured the imagination of generations. However, around 1100 BCE, the Mycenaean civilization collapsed. Its fall remains a mystery to this day. Whether it was due to invasion, internal strife, or natural disaster, we don't know. What followed was a period of darkness, a time when Greece seemed to lose its direction. For centuries, Greece fell into the shadows. Trade slowed, writing disappeared, cities were abandoned. This was the Greek Dark Ages, a period of cultural decline, but also the time that would sow the seeds for what came next. Around 800 BCE, however, a new dawn broke. The Greeks began to rediscover their roots. They established city-states, polis, that would become the cornerstone of Greek life. Cities like Athens, Sparta, Corinth, and Thebes emerged from this haze, each unique, each with its own culture and identity. By the 6th century BCE, the Greek city-states were flourishing. Athens, the heart of democracy, began experimenting with radical new ideas that would change the world. The story of democracy began in these streets, in the agora, where citizens gathered to debate and vote. But democracy wasn't Athens' only gift to the world. Philosophy took root here too. Thinkers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle changed how we understand everything, from ethics to politics to the very nature of knowledge. Their ideas reverberated through history and continue to shape our thoughts today. But the Greeks weren't just thinkers, they were warriors too. In 490 BCE, a massive Persian army under King Darius the Great sought to conquer Greece. At the Battle of Marathon, a small Greek force, led by the Athenians, defied the odds and defeated the Persians. 10 years later, Darius's son, Xerxes, launched an even larger invasion, but the Greeks, led by the Spartans at the Battle of Thermopylae and the naval victory at Salamis, fought back once again. These victories were pivotal, not only in defending Greece but in establishing Athens as the dominant power in the Greek world. Athens, now the beacon of Greek culture and power, flourished. The Acropolis was rebuilt. Philosophy and the arts blossomed. But power comes at a cost. Athens' growing power bred envy. In 431 BCE, a war broke out between Athens and Sparta, the Peloponnesian War. For nearly 3 decades, Greece was torn apart by internal strife. Athens, the symbol of democracy, faced off against Sparta, the warrior city-state. This war drained Greece of its resources and its spirit. Athens was eventually defeated, and its empire crumbled. But the Greeks weren't finished yet. Out of this chaos rose a new, charismatic leader. Enter Alexander the Great, a king of Macedon, a land to the north of the Greek city-states. In 336 BCE, at just 20 years old, Alexander became king, and he soon set out to conquer the world. In just over a decade, Alexander marched his armies across Asia Minor, Egypt, Persia, and into the heart of India. He never lost a battle and spread Greek culture far beyond the Mediterranean, forever altering the course of history. By the time of his death in 323 BCE, Alexander had created the largest empire the world had ever seen. Yet, after his death, his empire fractured. But the influence of Greek culture, Hellenism, remained. The Hellenistic era was born in the wake of Alexander's empire. Greek culture spread far and wide, blending with the local traditions of Egypt, Persia, and India. From Alexandria's great library to the scientific discoveries of Archimedes, the Greek legacy continued, but Greece was also facing a new challenge: the growing power of Rome. As the Roman Republic expanded, it absorbed the Greek world, and in 146 BCE, Greece was conquered, its city-states falling to the might of Rome. Although Greece fell under Roman rule, its influence didn't fade. Rome adopted Greek philosophy, art, and culture, but Greece was never truly conquered. The Byzantine Empire, with its capital in Constantinople, would carry on Greek traditions for another 1,000 years. In 1453, after centuries of struggle, the Byzantine Empire finally fell to the Ottoman Turks, marking the end of Greece as an independent force for centuries. But Greece's legacy, its ideals, its culture, its contributions, would never be forgotten. In the early 19th century, Greece fought for its independence once more. After centuries under Ottoman rule, the Greek War of Independence began in 1821. Against all odds, with help from Europe, the Greeks fought for freedom and, in 1830, established the modern Greek state. Today, Greece stands as a symbol of resilience, its ancient roots still deeply embedded in the soul of modern civilization. From the olive groves of Crete to the streets of Athens, the spirit of Greece continues to inspire us. This small corner of the world may have been the birthplace of democracy and philosophy, but its influence echoes throughout history. From Homer's epics to the ideals of democracy, from the wisdom of Aristotle to the artistry of the Parthenon, Greece has shaped the world, and it will continue to do so, for as long as there are minds willing to learn and dream. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the incredible history of Greece. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales from the past.